starts with the right house. That's where we come in. Howard Hanna. Home happens here. It all starts with the right house. That's where we come in. Howard Hanna. Home happens here.
People want to have a one-stop shop. They need us for now all these different services, not just the heating and air side.
When things are going wrong, you want the company that's going to be able to get things done as fast as possible for you.
Today we're going to be in over 600 homes. What the customers can count on is we're going to send a competent person to your home with a vehicle that's stocked and prepared. We're going to do what's right.
Right now, we're waiving our $79 service fee with any Cool Ray, Brightbox, or Mr. Plumber service.
Introducing GForceTV. GForceTV.net is your new source for action overload. Featuring free live programming year-round and countless hours of on-demand video, GForceTV will be your first stop whenever you want to see the latest and hottest racing action. See live Friday Night Excitement weekly from Washougal Speedway, and watch the stars of tomorrow make a name for themselves during Thursday night's live microsprint racing. GForceTV is also the new home for Rivals Race Chat. Watch weekly as Clinton Jeffrey and Adam Ross discuss all the hot topics in the world of motorsports. For iRacing fans, GForceTV has you covered with hours of live broadcasting from Rivals and GForceTV racing leagues. GForceTV promises to deliver motorsports, esports, and action sports you want to see, along with talk shows and vlogs to keep you connected to the lifestyle you love. Visit GForceTV.net today to subscribe for free. Sit back, hold on, and feel the G's on GForceTV.
Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to a special Friday night edition here. Scotty, I'm lost. Hi, everybody. I'm Sean Neisted. With me, Scotty DeYoung. We like to call him Scotty Too Hottie. Scotty, we're together on a Friday night here, and tonight we get to enjoy the VMR Wraps Pro Late Models, and we are looking down on tonight's scene for the action. That is the Eldora Speedway. Good evening, Scotty.
Well, Sean, if you're lost, then I'm definitely lost. I'm looking out the window here at evergreen trees, and I've got a change of scenery here. I mean, we were at Bristol Monday, and now we're at Eldora. There's evergreen trees in the backyard. Well, what's going on here?
Well, I'd really like to know what you're really seeing out the window there that you're really looking out of, because you're not here in the upper Midwest of the U.S. right now. You're out visiting friends and family out west, right?
Yes, out in the Pacific Northwest right now, out here in Washington State, where I grew up originally. So first time being home, per se, in 11 years, and currently enjoying it, but had to jump on here for the GeForce Racing Leagues for some Friday night action with the Pro Late Models here, brought to you by VMR Wraps under the Friday night lights here at Eldora.
Love it. It is going to be a big night. Good evening, everybody. Welcome into the Gambler Motorsports pre-race show. We'll get you set up for this big night of VMR Wraps and late model action in the the Gambler Motorsports pre-race show. Of course, Gambler Motorsports and esports racing team, they compete weekly across the iRacing platform. They have teams entering in dirt races, sports cars, asphalt oval. They even compete in endurance races. And this year they've have drivers in Le Mans, and of course they were in the 24 Hours of Daytona as well. When you're on Facebook, give them a follow. Just look up Gambler Motorsports while you're on Facebook and enjoy. All right, Scotty, let's get things set because we are getting near that midpoint of the season. So it's time that these drivers really start looking at the point standings as well. And of course, that's brought to us by iRacingLeagueManager.com.
Yes, it is. Division standings brought to you by iRacing League Manager. If you run or manage an iRacing League, let iRacing League Manager make it easier for you. Go to iRacingLeagueManager.com for more information. They bring you the standings here tonight. And looking at the point standings here, Sean, David Garman, not only fast in practice so far, but he is your current points leader. And John Hine bringing up second, Kyle Parker. We've seen Kyle Parker dominate on Thursday Night Thunder for the Epsilon Sprint Wraps Big Block Modifieds. He sits in third, and Steven Spees in fourth, and Joel Halter rounding out your top five here in points for the Pro Late Models.
David Castelli is in sixth. Doyle Taylor sits seventh. Nathan Hall, G.J. Boydell, and Lance Ripka. The rest of your top 10 in the point standings tonight for these VMR Wraps late models. A name that you mentioned right there in the third spot in the points, and boy, these drivers are really going to have to watch out for him here tonight. This is the car parked on the infield here, and we'll get the paint on it, and we'll let you know who that is. Come on, paint, anytime now. Ooh, they're hiding it tonight. That's Kyle Parker that I want to talk about here in this Gambler Motorsports pre-race show here, Scotty. And the reason I want to talk about the driver of the 013 machine is because he has ripped off 2 consecutive feature wins. And as you mentioned with the big blocks last season, when Kyle Parker got things rolling, it really took notice for the rest of the field that he was a fast and tough car to beat.
Yes, it was. And I mean, he just walked away with it after that. I mean, Kyle Parker coming, I believe, second in the point standings, right behind the Carolina Tea Company of Field Miller in the 677. So Kyle's got some laps around in these different cars, not only in the Renegades division on Monday nights, but then the big blocks on Thursday nights, and now late models. So it's going to see some interesting things, I think, out of that car tonight, and just to see what he can do here at Eldora.
Absolutely, as the drivers continue to work through practice here. Last few minutes of that before we get into our VMR Wraps qualifying session. On board right now with the 661 of Terry Landis as he makes his way around the racetrack. And for anyone who's ever said, well, Eldora is one of those big oval tracks, it's about a big circle, watch how much work going on with the hands of Terry Landis out here right now, as this is not the easiest track to drive.
It really isn't. I mean, and we've seen it before. The top side really comes in dominant later on in the race, and especially like when we see with sprint cars, they will bang the cushion at the top side of the racetrack. Late models a little bit different, cars a little bit wider, as we see Landis go for a spin cycle there. So we'll see multiple lines run here tonight, but like we see the car out on the track right now, they're going to be up near the cushion to carry that momentum, and I think it's going to be a great show, though.
I do too. Hey, I need to pause for a second here, Scotty. I got to thank our friend Joe White over at OSRN. This Friday night business, this is typically his deal. So if you're tuned in and you're like, hey, where's Joe? Where's Doug? Well, I had a little conflict of business last night. My son Hayden had a baseball practice, and you know, since I said I would coach them, I figured I should probably be there, right? So Joe said, hey, no problem. Let's switch Thursday and Friday. And so thank you, Joe. Appreciate it. Everyone here with the GeForce Racing League, such good people to work with. And
absolutely,
that was fantastic of him to do, as you see the checkered flag out down there at the flag stand, and that means it is time to move into the next portion of tonight's program. That's the VMR Wraps qualifying session. VMR Wraps bringing you these late models as well. If you're looking to fulfill all of your iRacing paint needs, VMR Wraps is where you need to turn. The company, they're made up of several painters from across the U.S. That allows them to specialize in multiple different paint styles across all types of cars on iRacing. So if you're looking to get that new paint, check them out, VMR Wraps, and you'll find them on Facebook. Cars already taking to the speedway here, Scotty.
That they are, and some great qualifying going to be happening here. Cars taking the track, like you said, Sean. Eldora, this is the dream. The reason why they call it dream, it's everyone's dream to run Eldora at least once in their lifetime. As John Hine, quick timer, now being bumped to second. Halter, the 220 car, will be your quick timer as of right now. Your points leader, Garmin, currently sits third. Lane Snook, I wondered if he was going to be here tonight, currently sitting fourth, and Jason Paulson was just bumped down to sixth.
So the time's going to come in fast and furious here. We'll try to keep you up to speed on those. Fitzy, Jeff Fitzpatrick running out here tonight, the number 90 machine out there, and he'll jump up to third quick on the board right now, a 15.58. There's GJ Boydell's number 14. He'll slow on the racetrack, not to be confused with Tom Taylor. I call him Tom the Print Man Taylor, because he's the man behind SBGC 3D printing. See what I did there?
Yeah.
Tom Taylor right
yes.
now checked in one of his laps in that good-looking number 14 ride as he makes his way around the speedway. Steven Spies has had a good season going in these VMR Wraps late models. There's the 55 machine. He's up to fourth quick as Brennan Weeks will jump to the top of the charts. The 12 machine, as you see it there on the screen. Now a 15.53 is quick time here tonight for the VMR Wraps qualifying session in the VMR Wraps late models. So Weeks, Halter, Hines, Spies, and Fitzpatrick right now in the top 5. We've had 23 cars take a lap already here tonight.
23 cars take a lap already. Looks like everyone is going to be getting their times in, and then we will be set to go with our qualifying heat races, and then followed by a consolation feature, and then short break brought to you by our A-Main, excuse me. And yes, tonight VMR Wraps bringing you not only qualifications, but tonight's racing as well. And like you mentioned earlier, Sean, a big shout out to Joe over there at OSRN for taking over for us last night. You were coaching baseball. I was on a plane headed out west. And yes, Joe, we cannot thank you enough. And like you said, Sean, great people here in the GeForce Racing Leagues. Love working with them. And yes, we always have a good time on Mondays and Thursdays and now Fridays.
Yeah, you can do a lot of things from a plane these days. Not one is broadcasting iRace, turns out. Can't quite
yeah, no one. I don't think everyone would have been impressed with the announcing because Scotty can get pretty loud when on the mic as well too. So
can you? That would be my luck. I'd have a red eye, and I'd need. I would be like, hey, I can take a 2-hour nap on this flight, and then I'd have Scotty DeYoung behind me. No, I'm kidding.
You thought crying babies on flights were bad.
Yeah. Can you imagine? Looks like Ryan Carlissi about the last car yet to turn a lap of VMR qualifying here tonight. Time starting to run short for him to do so if he's going to get out there. But 23 cars have checked in, and our 23 cars have taken a lap on the track. So a good, strong field here. So for a flat-out Friday, is that what we call it? Flat-out Friday? That's what we'll call it tonight. How's that?
Flat-out Friday under the Friday night lights at Eldora.
Yeah, I like it. Very fitting. Of course, Scotty, we will be back in action as well this coming Monday night. The Renegades, and what a season we're having over there with the Renegades. Monday night, 9 o'clock Eastern, 8 o'clock Central, 360 sprint car action. And, boy, check us out if you haven't done so. We've got 5 races completed so far this year with your Renegade season. SBGC 3D Printing brings us the Monday Night Renegades. And of those 5 races, Scotty, we're yet to have a repeat winner. So really hope folks will tune in Monday. Last night, AJ Abreda, he would become the first repeat winner this season with the big blocks on Thursday night. And we'll be back next Thursday to broadcast that. But AJ Abreda picking up the win last night at Bristol in the big blocks. He also had a win earlier this year at the Knoxville Raceway. So some great competition all through the GeForce Racing Leagues. GeForceRL.com is where you need to go to learn more about the 20-plus leagues they've got going on. They've got a league for everybody. So check them out as we get set to check out the starting lineup for tonight's A&J Custom Creations Heat Race number 1. Scotty's starting lineup looks a little like that right there on the screen.
That's going to be the 175 of Andy Persifeld. And David Garman, your current points steering the 006 to the outside.
Second row, that's Steven Spies, the 55 on the inside. Brennan Weeks next to him. He drives the 122. You'll see a 12 on the door of that car.
Inside of row number 3, you're going to see the 135 of Jesse Atkinson to the inside. To the outside, the 180. That is Daniel Vaught.
And let's look to that fourth and final row. We talked about this driver in the Gambler Motorsports pre-race show. It's Kyle Parker. He's won the last 2 consecutive events in the 13 machine, so he'll be coming from deep in the field tonight because he's won 2 in a row. Tom Taylor going to start outside of him, Texas driver of the number 14 car. That is your starting lineup. 8 laps the distance, top 4. Get to bypass the consolation event here tonight. That's heat race number 1 for the VMR Wraps Pro late models here tonight. A&J Custom Creations brings us our opening heat race, Scotty.
Here too.
So A&J,
works if I unmute the button here.
Oh, there you go.
Yes, A&J Custom Creations bring you heat race number 1, specializing in laser engraving and CNC machining. A&J puts its craftsmanship to work in every wood trophy and plaque that they provide, and they also provide trophies and plaques to all of the GeForce Racing League division champions. Contact Andy Patton today to order your custom creations. A&J Custom Creations brings you heat race number 1.
Some good-looking cars out here on the track here, as we will get the green off of turn number 4 next time by 8 times around. 4 tickets directly to the A main up for grabs here tonight, as we've got some heavy hitters right out of the gate here tonight. Scotty, the track's got a lot of moisture in it here in this first heat race. That Cool Ray Heating and Cooling 175 of Andy Piersfeld is sitting on the pole. Points leader, David Garman next to him. Pace truck about to drop them off. Piercefield, Garman, bring us to the green. Flat out Friday under the Friday night lights. Underway with our A&J Custom Creations heat race.
And look at that, 3 wide right off the start there, Sean, into turns 1 and 2. It is going to be Garman, that 006 car, leading the way into turn 3, side by side for that race lead, though. Almost 4 wide for a second. Garman's going to lead lap number 1.
Oh, but here comes that 112. The 12 of Weeks works to the bottom. Can't quite get there. Garman leads him again down the back straightaway, down into turn 3. Weeks to the bottom. Can he get there? There's a whole lot of momentum on the side of Garman, and Garman leaves, and they go back to past the stripe. Now 6 laps to go, and the race for the lead continues, Scotty.
And the race is on. Here comes Pride down the backstretch. Garman with the race lead. Weeks to the inside of the racetrack, trying to find the moisture and eat the meat on the bottom. Cannot do so. Persfield up to that 3rd place spot after starting on the pole. Steven Spies, your 4th and final transfer.
Jesse Atkinson right now 1 out of a transfer spot. Kyle Parker right there with him coming off of turn number 4. It remains a tight one up front, though, at the halfway point of our A&J Custom Creations opening heat race. David Garman stretching the lead now just out to under 0.4 of a second. Weeks remains right there. Piercefield trying to take a look to the inside of Weeks as they come off of 4. Now Piercefield works a little bit lower in turn number 1, gets the car loose at the exit, allows Brendan Weeks to pull away just a little bit as he runs second and dives to the bottom in turn 3.
Coming to 2 laps to go this time by. Green flag high in the air. Great battle for that 3rd and 4th place spot. Persfield's going to be shuffled back to that 4th place spot. Kyle Parker into the top 5 now in the 013 car, trying to get a transfer spot. Garman still with the race lead. Weeks running in 2nd. Spies and Piercefield, your top 4. White flag one more time around.
Yeah, if Piercefield wants to avoid that consolation, he's going to have to hold off Kyle Parker. As we say that, Kyle Parker finds the concrete. Out front, David Garman off of turn 4. Final time, he'll come to the checkered flag and win our A&J Custom Creations heat race number 1. So our first heat race of the VMR Wraps Pro Late Models night here goes into the books, and we'll take a look at your official results from our opening heat race as it is David Garman, your winner by 9/10 of a second over Brandon Weeks, Steven Spees, Andy Piercefield. They'll go directly to the A main here tonight. Atkinson, Parker, Vaught, and Taylor, the rest of your finishing order. Heat race number 2 was brought to us by Howard Hanna Real Estate, and the starting lineup has Jeffrey Barker on the inside of the front row. That's car number 513. Next to him, the current Renegades points leader out of Pennsylvania. It's a 12-year-old driver of the 123. That's Lane Snook.
The inside, row number 2, that's going to be the 90 of Fitzy, Jeff Fitzpatrick, and his outside, Joe Halter in the 220.
Third row, Zach Chapman, the 72 on the inside. Chris Steele, he drives the number 80. He'll start 6th on the grid.
Your fourth and final row is going to see Andrew Smith in the 79 to the inside. To his outside, the 28 car, Nathan Hall. Heat race number 2 being brought to you by Howard Hanna Real Estate.
Howard Hanna Real Estate Services, the #1 family-owned and operated independent broker in the U.S. Scott Hurwitz, he's been a multi-million-dollar commercial and residential real estate agent for many years, and he can help anyone find the experienced professional realtor anywhere across the country. And that realtor will be just like Scott, with the right experience, the right knowledge, they'll ask the right questions, and get you the best house for the best price. That's what's important right there. That's Scott Hurwitz of Howard Hanna Real Estate bringing us Heat Race number 2, 8 laps the distance, 4 directly to the A main. Here comes our green flag. Scotty, it's in the air.
Green flag is out, drop on the hammer. Look at the start from Lane Snook as we go 3 wide with Barker and Fitzy. Lane Snook out to the race lead off of turn number 2 and immediately starting to check out a little bit. Slide job from Fitzy to Barker. Lane Snook, though, leading lap number 1.
A little trouble deep in the field. Chris Steele, Zach Chapman with trouble. Chapman's going to take her pit side as it looks. Lane Snook, no troubles for this driver. The 123 out front. Teammate Jeff Fitzpatrick running in that second spot in the 90 ride. Fitzy picked up a win earlier this season with the SBGC 3D Printing Renegade Series. That's on Monday night action. His win coming at the Fairbury Speedway.
Lane Snook still racing, though, trying to get the heat race win with 5 laps to go. Barker in that 4th and final transfer spot. He's got some pressure from Smith, though, but starting to pull away ever so slightly. Halter runs in that 3rd place spot. Fitzpatrick in 2nd. It's the Vanderbilt boys running 1 and 2 right now, Sean.
Yeah, Lane Snook looking very strong right now in that 123 machine. Fitzpatrick a bit behind him, just under 7/10 of a second. Good-looking ride there for the youngster out of Pennsylvania as he'll click by. Now 3 laps to go on this one. Joe Halter still keeping Jeff Fitzpatrick honest, running in that 3rd spot. Jeffrey Barker still has that ticket to the A main in his hands. The field will come off turn 4. They'll have 2 laps to go.
Green flag flies high in the air, 2 to go for the 123 driver, Lane Snook. Jeff Fitzpatrick trying to use the middle and bottom side of the raceway. Multiple lines being used here, Sean, as we see the bottom still has a little bit of tackiness left coming off of the corners here, but the top side is really where you want to be as a white flag comes out. That's where it is right now, top shelf racing.
And on that top shelf, that is Lane Snook down the backstretch for the final time. He'll make his way through turn 3 off of turn number 4, and they'll look at the checkered flag. Lane Snook picks up the win here in our Howard Hanna Real Estate and Scott Hurwitz Realtor Heat Race number 2. So 2 good heat races in the books already here tonight, as we'll take a look at the official results now from the Howard Hanna Real Estate 2nd heat race. Lane Snook, Jeff Fitzpatrick, Joe Halter, Jeffrey Barker. They'll finish in the top 4 and transfer directly to tonight's VMR Wraps A main. Andrew Smith, Nathan Hall, Chris Steele, and Zach Chapman. They'll get to duke it out in tonight's SBGC 3D Printing Consolation. 3rd heat race ready to make its way onto the starting lineup. It is our coast-to-coast racing team heat race. And Scotty, there's the starting lineup.
Barry Landis is going to start on the pole in the 661. To his outside, that's 000 of Jeremy Paulson.
Aiden Young, the number 69, he'll start 3rd on the grid. And to his right in row number 2, that's John Hine in car number 71.
Row 3 to the inside is going to see the 51 of Patrick Spangler, and his outside, the 14 of G.J. Boydell.
And the 4th and final row, David Castelli on the inside in the 18, Ryan Carlisi on the outside in the 38. That is your starting lineup. 8 cars, 8 laps, 4 of them go directly to the main event tonight out of our Coast to Coast Racing Team Heat Race number 3.
And Coast to Coast Sim Racing Team features from drivers coast to coast, not only in the United States, but Canada as well, and are pleased to be a part of the GeForce Racing League since the beginning. Coast to Coast Sim Racing Team brings you Heat Race number 3.
Man, we've had some good heat races already tonight here, Scotty. Looking forward to continued hot and heavy action on this Friday night here under the lights at Eldora. Some good-looking cars here with these late models, some good action. It's good to be working a late model show with you. I start my actual outdoor racing season 1 week and 1 day from right now. My first race of the year will be with the RepairableVehicles.com Tri-State Late Model Series next week down in Nebraska. That'll be my first race.
I might have to join you, Sean. It'll be good to go back to Nebraska. And I mean, I always love late models, so I might join you for that show there over at Off-Road. But meantime, we are Green Flag Racing here, 8 laps to distance. Heat race number 3.
Look at this one. Jeremy Paulson trying to get that momentum on the high line, puts the 00 out front. Terry Landis runs in second here. Watch John Hine go to the top. He's going to have to cross to the bottom. Looked like he was going to come shooting through. Does not. Instead, it's Aiden Young going to the second spot. Then they're stacked up behind him. Look at this, nearly 4 wide, and we're banging down the backstretch and into turn 3. Hold on to it, drivers. This is a wild one.
Young into the wall, trying to save it. Son at the wheel, and he does off turn number 4. Jeremy Paulson, your race leader, Spangler, Hine, and Castelli in that 4th and final transfer spot. Young back to 5th. Paulson has a good lead here coming off turn 4. Spangler about a half second behind him. Then the Cruise Shop 71 car of John Hine running in 3rd. Castelli in 4th, coming to 5. 4 laps to go at the flag stand.
On board with your 3rd place running, number 71 of John Hine. As you see him flash by the flag stand here, he's got Patrick Spangler in front of him, Jeremy Paulson up there, and you can see the 2 very different lines being run right now by the 1st and 2nd place cars. Look at Spangler go all the way down right next to the inside concrete, while Paulson is out there on the top side. Oh, this is going to be a good one tonight, Scotty. This track continues to get multiple grooves worked in.
Track is breaking down very evenly. The top side, the place to be, though, as of right now. We got a great battle for 5th and 6th here between Aiden Young and Terry Landis. Castelli in the hot seat as he's in that 4th and final transfer spot. Oh, bangs the wall. Castelli, Young, and Landis battling it out for that 4th and final transfer spot as we have 2 laps to go.
Yeah, Castelli has it right now. Young trying to throw the slider, but Landis is there. This is a good battle on the racetrack right now. On the final lap, we've got a battle for the transfer spot. Off of turn 4, Jeremy Paulson. He's going to take the checker flag and win the heat race. This group coming off of turn 4 at the line. Castelli holds on for a direct transfer to tonight's main event. Wow, some good action there in tonight's Coast to Coast Racing Team Heat Race number 3. We'll take a look at the official results on that one as they come along. You see Jeremy Paulson, a winner here tonight in Heat 3. Spangler, Hine, Castelli, they go to the A main. Landis, Young, Boydell, and Carlisi, they've got to get their cars ready because the SBGC 3D printing consolation feature for some starting spots, that's right now. 10 laps will be the distance here, Scotty. And the finishing order of this one, that will set starting positions 13 through 23 for tonight's main event. So let's take a look at the starting lineup for tonight's SBGC 3D Printing B main.
It's going to be Jesse Atkinson on the front row with the 135 to his outside. That's going to be the 79, Andrew Smith.
Second row, Terry Landis, the 661 on the inside. Kyle Parker next to him in the number 13.
Row 3, Nathan Hall to the inside, the 28 car, and the 69 of Aiden Young to the outside.
Fourth row, Daniel Vaught, the 180 inside. Chris Steele, the 80 on the out.
GJ Boydell inside of row 5 in the 14. Tom Taylor, double T in the 14 to the outside.
11th starter, that's Zach Chapman in the 72 inside row 6. And outside of him will be Ryan Carlisi in the 38. That is the starting lineup for tonight's SBGC 3D Printing B main. Field making their way around the racetrack behind the pace vehicle already here, Scotty.
Yes, and SBGC 3D printing committed to making the cutting-edge technology accessible for anyone who has an idea that needs to be manufactured. Using a 3D CAD program, they work with you to create your invention or creative project. This is your consolation feature brought to you by SBGC 3D printing.
Good looking field. A lot of talent out here on the racetrack right now in this consolation. Starting spots up for grabs. It looks a lot better starting from 13th than it does from row 12. So these drivers got to work on this one right here. Green flag is out 10 laps. Already underway. Andrew Smith, Jesse Atkinson take them down the back straightaway for the first time. Advantage going to Andrew Smith as he leads us down to turn 3. Look at Kyle Parker sneaking around the outside. He'll get a little contact and a little too far outside. He's into the front straightaway wall.
Eminem said coming around the outside, not what he meant, as we have another car into the wall as well. Caution flags do not come out in B feature qualifications, so we are still staying green. Great battle for the race lead up front, though, Sean, between the 79 of Smith and the 135 of Atkinson.
Yeah, because of some early incidents here, we're going to get to see Chris Steele come from really deep in the field. Kyle Parker continues on. We'll see if he can make up any positions with the 7 laps remaining on this one. It is Jesse Atkinson, Andrew Smith, Aiden Young, and Terry Landis. The top 4 cars still 2 by 2 as they go through the corners. Right now, Young just sneaking around the outside into that second spot. Jesse Atkinson continues to lead. He'll come and see 6 laps to go.
Bottom side of the racetrack trying to come in, but everyone running the middle to the top shelf around Eldora Speedway. Atkinson still with the race lead. Young in second. Smith and Landis and Hall, your current top 5. 6 laps to go. This time by Atkinson, still your race leader.
And right now, G.J. Boydell and Kyle Parker, they're not too far in front of your race leaders, so we could see a bit of lap traffic here as Boydell has had some trouble and lost touch with the front of the field. Good race going on for the 3rd spot. Here's Andrew Smith and Terry Landis going at it. Smith on the bottom, Landis on the top. Look at the momentum for Landis, propel him right back by the 79 machine. Landis runs 3rd as they go to turn number 3.
That cushion is almost right near that wall, Sean, so he's got to be careful and make sure to hit his marks coming into the corners. As you see the cars bobble a little bit. Leaders in lap traffic, though, as they get by Boydell and Parker. Parker getting laps, something you really don't see here at the GeForce Racing Leagues. Aiden Young gets to lap traffic smoothly as well, still hot on the heels of the 135 of Atkinson.
Well, there's probably good reason for the 13 of Kyle Parker to be going down a lap right now. It's missing the whole nose of that car, so a lot of damage there. He's just trying to hold a straight line and make it to the checkered flag on this one. Jesse Atkinson remains in control of this one, but Aiden Young in hot pursuit right there in the 69. Final time down the back straightaway. We're coming to the checkered. And tonight's SBGC 3D printing B main event. And your winner, that's going to be Jesse Atkinson in car number 135. Aiden Young going to place 2nd. Terry Landis finishes 3rd. And Andrew Smith 4th, with Nathan Hall completing your top 5 here tonight at the SBGC 3D printing B main. Let's take a look real fast at the results from tonight's B main to see exactly where they all stacked up. Outside the top 5, you got Tom Taylor, Zach Chapman, Daniel Vaught, Kyle Parker 9th, G.J. Boydell, Chris Steele, and Ryan Carlisi. That puts all of the qualifying into the books here tonight from the Eldora Speedway with the VMR Wraps late models. Coming up, it'll be tonight's main event. Don't go anywhere. It's coming up right here on GeForce TV right after this break. Stay with us.
I love being home.
It all starts with the right house. That's where we come in. Howard Hanna.
I love
Home happens here.
being home.
People want to have a one-stop shop. They need us for now all these different services, not just the heating and air side.
When things are going wrong, you want the company that's going to be able to get things done as fast as possible for you.
Today, we're going to be in over 600 homes. What the customers can count on is we're going to send a competent person to your home with a vehicle that's stocked and prepared. We're going to do what's right.
Right now, we're waiving our $79 service fee with any Cool-Ray, Brightbox, or Mr. Plumber service.
Welcome back to the Eldora Speedway, where we are set for tonight's main event. Here is your starting lineup for the 30-lapper, brought to us by VMR Wraps. David Garman, the 006, your point leader on the pole position. Lane Stook, the 123 on the outside of row 1.
Inside of row 2 is going to see the 000 of Jeremy Paulson. To the outside, the 122, that is Brennan Weeks.
Jeff Fitzpatrick, he starts 5th on the grid, the 90, with Patrick Spangler next to him in the 51.
Steven Speed to the inside of row number 4 in the 55. To the outside, Joe Halter in the 220.
To the 5th row, that's where John Hine lines up in the number 71 machine. And going from 10th, that's the 175 of Andy Piercefield.
Starting 11 is going to be Jeffrey Barker in the 513. To his outside, David Castelli in the 16.
Your 13th starter tonight is Jesse Atkinson in car number 135. Aiden Young next to him in the 69.
Starting 15th here tonight, the 661 of Terry Landis. To his outside, that's going to be the 79 of Andrew Smith.
17th starter, that's Nathan Hall in the 28. Next to him in row 9, the 14 of Tom Taylor.
Zach Chapman, the 72, starts 19th, 20th. Daniel Vaught in the 180.
Let's go to row number 11. Kyle Parker on the inside in the 13. Next to him, G.J. Boydell in car 14.
Your 12th and final row is going to see Chris Steele in the 80 to the inside and Ryan Carlisi, in the 36 to the outside.
Set to go here from Eldora, the VMR Wraps Pro Late Models 30 times around the Eldora Speedway. Green flag set to fly. Lane Snook, David Garman bring us to the green, and we're underway here for a flat-out Friday night.
Flat out Friday night lights, 3 wide coming off turn number 2 on the opening lap. Something's got to give. Highline still the fast line here around Eldora. Lane Snook, 12-year-old out of Pennsylvania. He's looking for the lead, but through the middle is going to be Garman. Lane Snook, lap number 1, still 3 wide through 1 and 2. Oh, contact 4 wide for a split second. We got a car upside down, Sean.
Yeah, we are stacking them up in a big-time fashion over here in turn 3. It's a parking lot and then some over here. Big time issue in turn number 2, and that's going to put us under the caution here early on in this one as the yellow flag flies over the speedway.
Worse than a Walmart parking lot on a Black Friday, that's for sure, in turns 1 and 2.
Yeah,
great racing for the lead, and cars just got into the wall and just a domino accordion effect after that.
Yeah, things happen here so quickly here at the Eldora Speedway, Scotty, as you're carrying so much speed around this racetrack. Things happen so quickly, and that's exactly what we saw there. We caught it live. We're not going to roll back and look at a Malcolm's Mills mill riding replay here, but we thank them, and I'm sure we'll get another opportunity here. Malcolm's Mills mill riding, they're up there in Oakland, Ontario, Canada. Great people up there as well. Malcolm's Mills mill riding, full-service mill riding contractor. They do custom welding, fabricating, and full service for their industrial clients. See more, mmmillwriting.com.
Also tonight we have your Cool Rays Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing and Electrical Hard Charger Award. Cool Ray's goal is to make sure that Ray's tradition of 100% customer service satisfaction lives on today. Cool Ray is proud of its reputation providing excellent service to the homeowners and businesses in Georgia. Their mission, build a long-lasting relationship with the customers through their winning spirit and commitment, and 100% satisfaction guaranteed. They bring you the hard charger not only tonight, but through every league here for the GeForce Racing Leagues. As it looks like we are going to come back to green here. Sean Wally's going to bring the pace truck in, looking for green off of 4.
And we've got it. It is Lane Snook, but boy, there was some contact, and now we've got them stacking up again in turn 1, and your points leaders are going to get together, and we've got trouble there as this is not going to be good. David Garman, your point leader in this division. Lane Snook, your point leader in the Renegades. They got together in turn number 1. You saw the aftermath right there, and wow, a couple of heavy hitters running up front are going to be relegated deep in the field at best on this one for an upcoming restart there. You see all sorts of damage. That's Tom Taylor's number 14 machine. That thing is ripped apart, and boy, that is not going to be aero great, as it does factor in here in iRacing here. I've talked to a lot of guys who run these late models in iRacing, and you bend that spoiler up, you bend the nose up, and it really affects these cars. There you see Taylor heading down pit road, going to try to head there as his steering was messed up, couldn't quite make that turn, and he'll get a quick fix. And pit road right now, fairly busy place here early on in this event.
Yeah, very busy indeed, and we're only 4 laps into this 30-lapper here tonight, Sean. So a lot of hard racing and a lot of contact already. Usually we don't see this many wrecks at Eldora, but, you know, in dirt racing, anything can happen. And unfortunately, a few drivers victim of circumstance here already tonight. Yeah,
looking at the 006 here machine as we'll be getting ready for a restart coming up here, but pretty tough break here for David Garman. He's your points leader. He hasn't finished off of the podium this season, Scotty, with the exception of one night. That was the Hometown Heroes Night, week 3 action. So we'll have to see how far he can get back through the field. Right now, Brennan Weeks, Jeremy Paulson, they're the drivers out front in command of this one as we go back to the green.
As Weeks got the good restart off turn number 4 using the inside of the racetrack. Look at Joe Halter. Halter up to that second place spot using the bottom side. Barker too. Oh, car into the wall a little bit off turn number 3, and we've got cars stacked up in turn 3 as well. So third caution in 5 laps here already. Oof. Gonna be a long night for some of these drivers, and a long virtual ride home as well.
Yeah. Fortunately, in this world, you don't have to put it in the trailer and then think about it all the way home as we look at the Andy Piercefield 175 machine. Rear of that car wrinkled up pretty good. I saw a great video here a couple weeks ago from Kenny Wallace, and he was talking about modified racing, but the same thing is true in late models, that you make your bodies basically out of the same thing that a beer can is made out of. He was talking about people get mad, their bodies get wrinkled up, and drivers get all mad. Well, you can push on them with your hands and wrinkle them up. There's a car that's not wrinkled up right now. That's Brendan Weeks, your race leader, out there in the 12 machine. He'll have Jeff Fitzpatrick and his perfectly conditioned number 90 machine here on the restart. So these guys up front, their car's still looking nice and square. A little wrinkle there for Joe Halter on the right rear quarter, but nothing too much for him, as we'll be getting set for the restart once again off of turn 4.
So we'll try it again. Third time's the charm.
Let's hope.
Coming to lap number 5 of 30 here tonight for your VMR Pro late models under the Friday night lights here for Flat Out Friday. Looking for the green off turn number 4. Weeks and Fitzpatrick. Green is out, back underway. Great restart there from Weeks again in the 12 car. Fitzy running out in that second place spot right now. Halter, Barker changing lines. And I believe the 69 car of Aiden Young into the top 5 as well.
Yes, but the caution is back out. So they will woe them back down as we go back under the yellow on this one. So Scotty right now, as a former driver, at this point you've idled around, and what do you got to do inside your helmet to get yourself to settle down? You can't control what the others do. How do you get yourself to settle down when a race has started pretty rough like this?
Just breathe, and even though they might be yelling at you on the receiver, just do what they say, and yeah, try to keep your nose clean. So some aggressive driving going on right now. Yeah, so there's times to be aggressive, there's times not to be aggressive, but yes, I just breathe, and the finish will be coming soon. And I don't know. I mean, we have time limit out in the real world, Sean. Do we have that here on iRacing?
It is. It's a long ways away, though. It's a long ways out there, so we should be okay. But yeah, But those are the things. I can tell you're a driver. Those are the things you start thinking about in your head when a race starts a little bit on the rougher side, like it has here tonight.
Yeah, and it's just all about, thinking of what to do, and, what do I have to do to make sure to move up some spots in case another caution comes out real shortly after the one that you've just had as well. So a lot of things can run through a driver's head, and, people think, oh, that's just out there in the real world with these real cars. No, it happens here on iRacing too. So looks like we're going to be having a single file restart here, as Wally is going to bring the truck into the infield going green. We're back under the green here at Eldora.
Trying to get some racing rhythm here to get some laps logged on this one. As you see, 3 wide there. 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Halter, Barker, and Young battling there. As Brandon Weeks out front in the 122. Jeff Fitzpatrick runs 2nd. We'll get a green lap in here. Now 24 to go. Look at this battle for 3rd. Joe Halter on the top. Aiden Young sliding up through the middle right in front of Jeffrey Barker in the 5-1-3. That's 3rd, 4th, and 5th entering turn 3.
Great battle here for those 3 positions right now. Barker is going to have the 5th spot, but back behind him, Kyle Parker in the 13th. He's made his way through the top 10, trying to knock on the door of a top 5 right now. Weeks, Fitzpatrick, Young, Halter, and Barker, your current top 5 coming off turn 3. And we're going to have another lap here, 22 laps to go.
Yeah, that driver you mentioned there, Kyle Parker, he's already gained 15 positions. He's been able to keep that Spartan Racing 13 machine nice and clean. He's up to 6th after starting 21st here tonight after having some trouble in his heat race and consolation action. He's looking for more. The 13 goes diving to the bottom of the 220 of Joe Halter. Slide job, contact. Now Spees gets turned into the wall, and now they're stacking up on the back straightaway once again. Looks like everyone able to get out of that incident. Okay, we remain green.
Remain green. Kyle Parker into the top 5 now. Still lean, mean, and green. Brandon Weeks still your race leader. Fitzpatrick, Young, Barker, and Parker. Say that 3 times fast. Great green flag run here. 20 laps to go. Kyle Parker, as you mentioned, Sean, using every inch of this racetrack to move himself into the top 5 and wanting to look for more in the 013 car. He's got the 55 of Steven Spees. Or no, excuse me, that's the 123 of Lane Snook. Where did Snook come from? Snook to the inside now, trying to slide Parker. He'll do so off of turn number 4. Great battle here for that 5th position.
Lane Snook making his way back through the field there, was in the top 5 momentarily. Kyle Parker trying to grab it back. Now Snook, he's got the 5th spot. Parker right behind him. Patrick Spangler to the inside of Kyle Parker trying to grab the 6th position, and does so at least momentarily off of turn number 4 back into 1. That's Patrick Spangler working the bottom. Kyle Parker is happening in front of the 180 of Daniel Vaught, who has started 20th tonight and gained 12 spots and runs in the 8th position. Checking it back out front, Brandon Weeks. He has got a healthy lead of 1.8 seconds over the 90 of Jeff Fitzpatrick. We go on board on the tail. You can see Fitzpatrick back there, just the distance back to him as that 1.8 second lead, it's gone. Caution flag is out over the speedway at the halfway point here tonight.
If you're Brennan Weeks, that is not what you wanted to see. Caution flag flying. His almost 2-second lead gone just in a flash. Fitzpatrick will catch the back bumper now here under caution. Young, Barker, and Lane Snook. Let's talk about the driver of the 123 car, Sean. This kid, and I'm going to call him a kid because he's only 12 years old, but he is a wheel man. We've seen him wheel a late model here tonight, but we see him on Monday nights for the A&J Custom Creations Renegades 360 sprint cars, and then your Epsilon sprint wraps, big block modifieds on Thursday night. Is there anything that this kid cannot wheel?
Yes, a car out on the streets. He's not of the legal age yet to get behind the wheel of a car, but he, in the real world, he is a go-kart racer. He's had plenty of success behind the wheel of his go-kart team. So, yeah, he's going to be, we've talked about it before, one of those drivers where years down the road, you're going to be watching a race somewhere, probably tuned in on Dirt Vision or Flow or something like that, and you're going to see Lane Snook racing somewhere in the real world, and you go, I remember that kid.
And like you say, Sean, he's going to snooker the competition from 10 times to Sunday as we're looking for the green flag once again off of turn number 4, 15 laps to go.
A little peekaboo there for a moment for Brennan Weeks. He gets things going. He's ripping that top side. Jeff Fitzpatrick trying to take a look to the inside. Cannot get there. Look at this race for third as it has Aiden Young, Jeffrey Barker, Patrick Spangler, and Lane Snook 3 wide off of the corner for the 4th spot. Lane Snook has it on the top line, but Jeffrey Barker working the bottom, now working the middle as Spangler goes to the inside as well. Still 3 wide down the back straightaway.
3 wide racing, and look behind him, Kyle Parker getting into the mix as well in the 013 car. Barker through the middle in the 513. Lane Snook up top, possibly a little bit faster than Aiden Young right in front of him. Young holding on to that 3rd place spot. Still 3 wide racing here around Eldora for 4th, 5th, and 6th. And Kyle Parker up to 5th now in the 13 car. Where did he come from?
He has been on the move here as he now gets back into the top 5, 16 positions gained in tonight's main event. Spangler trying to take one of them back, working the bottom. Lane Snook runs in 4th. Aiden Young runs 3rd. Jeff Fitzpatrick in the runner-up spot. And Brennan Weeks is your race leader here as we'll be coming to 10 laps to go. Still 1/3 of the feature event. Weeks may be in the wall a little bit there. Jeff Fitzpatrick trying to erase a 7/10 of a second lead.
That cushion is that knife edge right along the wall around the top side, Sean. Drivers got to be careful. Make sure they're hitting their marks. If they get into the concrete, it could spell disaster for some of these drivers. Weeks with a 1-second advantage over the 90 of Jeff Fitzpatrick running in 2nd. Aiden Young hanging on to 3rd in the 69 car. Lane Snook up to 4th in the 123. Kyle Parker, as you mentioned, starting deep in the field. He currently rounds out your top 5.
Look at this. We've got a battle for that 2nd spot. Lane Snook drove it down to the bottom. Fitzpatrick and Young made a little contact. Now we're 3 wide. Slide job from Young. He gets into Fitzpatrick. Young now up the racetrack and gets into Snook just a little bit. A little rubbing of the fenders as they get back to turn 3. Fitzpatrick reclaims the 2nd spot. Young now in 3rd. Snook back to the 4th spot. And Kyle Parker runs in 5th. 7 laps to go. And that little kerfuffle may have been exactly what Brennan Weeks needed to run away and hide on this one. Now out to a 2-second lead.
Brennan Weeks left the card on the counter, checked out. Goodbye, see ya, as he has almost a 2.5-second lead over 2nd place running Jeff Fitzpatrick in the 90 car. Lane Snook slide job. Aiden Young gives him a little bumper action as we've got cars upside down with 6 laps to go. Caution flag's going to fly at Eldora.
Yeah, that is the 71 of John Hine, who victim of circumstance here. As let's go back and get ourselves a replay of this one, brought to us by Malcolm Mills. And the 71 of John Hine just trying to do what he needs to do here, and big time battle all around him. They're 3 wide. They're banging on the concrete. They just catch the right rear of John Hine and turn that 71 up the racetrack. And after that, yeah, the wreck is on. And he's going to go over a whole bunch of times down that back straightaway. Lane Snook.
Not a good feeling when you see sky, ground, ground.
And you know that from personal experience.
Twice, unfortunately.
You know, there are a lot of drivers who can go a long time in a racing career, Scotty, and never do that in a stock car. You got to think about that. You got the thrill of a lifetime a couple times in the course of a few years.
In the course of 2 years, yes.
Yeah.
So let me see here. My racing career was like 3.5 seasons with 3 different race cars.
That's tough. That's tough. These guys tonight, some of them have used up 3.5 race cars tonight. So right now, though, we've got to focus on this. We've got just about a handful of laps to go here. Brendan Weeks has been the class of the field this evening in that 12 machine. He's got Fitzpatrick, Young, Snook, and Parker right behind him. I don't know if anyone has anything for Brendan Weeks. He just needs to keep his nose clean, not spin the tires on this restart, and keep hitting his marks. We are back to green. Handful of laps to go here at Eldora for the VMR Wraps Pro Late Models.
And a great restart by the 12 car of Weeks. You see him back out to the race lead. Almost a second advantage over Fitzpatrick already. 3 wide come through turns 3 and 4, though, as we got Kyle Parker in the middle lane, Snook up top, and Spangler into the mix as well. Snook, he's going to go up to 4th place. Weeks, though, and Fitzpatrick still your top 2.
Here's a great battle continuing there for 4th. Spangler, now Young in that mix as well. So here comes the 51 of Patrick Spangler trying to get to a podium position here tonight. Working the bottom on Aiden Young, who continues to run in 3rd. Fitz, he's still in 2nd. Brendan Weeks starting to stretch his legs once again. Out to 1.2 seconds with 2 laps to go, hoping his internet connection holds on for the victory, is that driver of the 12 machine. Down the back straightaway, lap and a half to go.
Lap and a half to go here at Eldora, trying to make dream come true for Brennan Weeks here at the Dream. He is going to see a caution flag come out. Not what you wanted to see. Expecting the white flag, got the caution instead.
Trouble for Tom Taylor here. We'll get a Malcolm Mills replay on this one. You see the 14 machine there on the screen. And we'll see what exactly happened to the Texas driver of the SBGC 3D printing. Car number 14 as he's battling there with the 79 of Andrew Smith. Taylor gets it loose. Trying not to get into Smith and up the racetrack into the concrete, and that is all she wrote. Here comes G.J. Boydell and Spees. They'll avoid the contact, and that's enough to bring out the yellow. So that's what happened to Tom Taylor and his troubles there on the exit of turn 2. So this sets things up now here, Scotty, for a green-white checkered dash to the finish on this one. Brendan Weeks, your race leader in that 12 machine. He'll set the pace. He's been masterful on the restarts. Right behind him on this restart, that'll be the 90 of Jeff Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick been running the middle of this one, and then they'll be followed by Aiden Young in the 69 machine, with Patrick Spangler right behind him. Lane Snook, he's used up every bit of sheet metal on that 123 machine. He'll restart 5th. Kyle Parker is 6th. Jeffrey Barker is 7th. Daniel Vaught restarts 8th. Andrew Smith is 9th. And Jeremy Paulson completing your top 10 when we get this green flag here as it comes back out. We're underway. Green, white, checkered for the VMR Wraps Late Models tonight at Eldora.
Still going to be Weeks out with the race lead. Fitzy trying to hold on to that 2nd place spot. Aiden Young, though, he's got a driver behind him. Spangler to the inside of the 69 car of Young off turn number 4. Weeks will see the white flag one more time around Eldora.
Just got to hit his marks as Jeff Fitzpatrick hoping to pounce on any mistake that Brendan Weeks may make. Final set of turns. Weeks going to move down. He'll block any advance. He'll come to the checkered flag. And Brendan Weeks wins week number 5 with the VMR Wraps Pro Late Models with the GForce Racing Leagues. What a feature event here tonight, Scotty. We saw some fantastic running out there on the Speedway. 3 and 4 wide action, and in the end, Brendan Weeks going to get the victory on this one, as we will have an opportunity to talk to our feature winners here tonight. We'll head to the Epsilon Sprint Wraps podium presentation after we take a look at tonight's official results for the VMR Wraps Pro Late Models. Brendan Weeks, your winner. Jeff Fitzpatrick, 2nd. Aiden Young, 3rd. Patrick Spangler, 4th. And Lane Snook will finish in the 5th spot. And just behind them, Scotty, that will be tonight's Cool Ray Heating and Cooling Hard Charger. That is Kyle Parker. He finished 6th after starting 15th here tonight.
Kyle Parker, like you said, finishing 6th. Jeffrey Barker, 7th. Daniel Vaught, 8th. Jeremy Paulson, 9. Rounding out your top 10, and Steven Spees.
11th place tonight going to Andrew Smith. David Garman was 12th. Jesse Atkinson, 13th. Terry Landis, 14th. GJ Boydell finishes 15th.
Finishing 16th is Joe Halter, 17th. Andy Piercefield. Tom Taylor finishes 18th. John Hine, 19th. And Nathan Hall rounding out your top 20.
David Costelli was 21st. Chris Steele, 22nd. Zach Chapman, 23rd. And Ryan Carlisi, 24th here tonight at the Eldora Speedway. All right, we're going to head on down into the Epsilon Sprint Wraps podium presentation, and we will hear from our top finishers here tonight as they're going to have a lot to talk about. We had some wild action out there on the racetrack. As let's head on down and talk to our third place finisher here tonight, and that is Aiden Young. Aiden Young finishing in third. Kind of a wild ride there, Aiden. You guys were 3-4 wide there, running for that third through about 5th, 6th, 7th place battle there several times.
Yeah, just crazy racing.
What is that like when you're behind the wheel out there? Because I think I saw you up against the concrete on the outside, the inside, and have to slide through the middle. That has to really get you out of your comfort zone.
Yeah, it's mainly hard to keep the car straight and keep it going fast.
So what do you do? What are you telling yourself under these caution flags to keep that car going and keep things just where you want them?
Yeah, just trying to pick a line, whichever one you think's working better.
What was it tonight? It seemed like about every inch of that racetrack was pretty equal.
I think the middle was a little better, but you could make the top work.
When it comes to these late models at Eldora, a lot of people would say, all right, well, Eldora, it's kind of a big circle and it's a wide racetrack, but this place is difficult.
It's mainly because it's fast, and people think it's wide. It's kind of skinny when you're 4 wide.
It was skinny for you a lot then tonight. Aiden, who do you need to thank to get you here in the Epsilon Sprint Wraps podium presentation tonight in the third spot?
I want to thank Gambling Motorsports, Mid-South Sports Support, Young Gun Creations, the Inside Groove, you guys for broadcasting, and just the whole league in general.
All right, very good. Congratulations, and enjoy your weekend.
Thank you.
Aiden Young, he'll finish in the third spot here tonight in the number 69 machine. Let's go and talk with your runner-up who's standing by right here, and that is the driver of the number 90 machine, Jeff Fitzpatrick. Second place run here tonight. Has to feel good to put that number 90 machine back here on the podium.
Yeah, I don't normally run these cars. I don't run them a lot, and they're a little different than the sprint cars. With the new tire model they got now, it took me for a little loop there. But you had to really throw the car in the corners and try to keep it straight as much as possible.
So how in the world do you throw a car into the corner yet keep it straight? How much work was going on with your feet and with your hands?
Well, actually, it was pretty nice because I wasn't shaking as much because I was concentrating more on that. Because if I just run in normally, the thing would just push like a dump truck. And so I found it in practice that if you kind of turn the car real hard to the left before the corner and just throw it in the corner a little bit, it fit my style anyway.
It works for you here tonight. A runner-up in the late models, a class you admit to not running too often. So who do you need to thank for the solid performance here tonight with that 90 machine?
Oh, everybody at the Bandy Build garage there. It's great group of guys. We just came in on this one, at the last second, and come out on a Friday night to have some fun. And I'd like to thank Wagaman Brothers, Biola.com, Dirt Truckers, and you guys for putting the show on. I didn't realize you guys were putting on Friday nights. I might have to hit this more often now.
It was a one-time deal. Joe was nice to trade me with some baseball practice stuff last night. So
nice. Okay.
Yeah.
And then Roger and the guys for putting this league on. There's whatever car you want to run, just get a hold of GForce and you can run.
You can even run pavement stuff now.
Well, that's another thing. I'm gonna get into that in the near future here. I'm gonna give that a shot and see what it's like.
I look forward to seeing you do it. Fitzy, congratulations on the runner-up job here tonight.
All righty, thanks, buddy.
You bet. Jeff Fitzpatrick finishes in the second position here tonight. Before we hear from our race winner, let's go talk to another driver here tonight who had his share of passing out there tonight. That's Kyle Parker. Kyle came in here winner of 2 consecutive events, had to start deep in the field, and boy, it seemed like for the first 2/3 of tonight, Kyle, if you didn't have bad luck, you had no luck at all.
Yeah, tonight was rough. I actually won the last 3 races. They haven't updated it on the iRacing League Manager. Trying to make it 4 in a row, but the heat race kind of. I haven't ran this late model since the new tire model update, and it was a lot different. So it took me the whole practice and basically the whole first heat to figure it out. And then in the consolation, I figured it out, but I kind of got in the bad luck there. But I knew I was fast, so I just had to hit my marks, and a couple of those wrecks, obviously helped me get 2 or 3 spots here and there. And then Snook got a little slow at the end. He must have got a little bit of engine damage because he slowed down on the straightaways a lot, and I just couldn't make it around him with the 1-lane track, and then the guys, on the right at the bottom. So I didn't want to put anybody else in harm trying to get by him. So I was just like, you know what? I moved up 15 spots. I said I'll take a 6. That's fine.
It's a solid point performance. How would you describe the different tire model that you guys were feeling here tonight? Is there a way to describe it yet?
I don't know, man. I don't know if I like it or not yet, because it just seems like it's easier now. You know what I mean? You just basically turn it in and hold it straight. It's weird. Normally the pro late models before this tire model, you had to get a little bit sideways to go a little faster. Straight was okay, but the speed was more that angle. So now it's straight as possible and throttle. So as of right now, I don't know how I'm feeling about it. Maybe give me a week or 2 and I'll let you know.
That sounds good. Who do you need to thank for another good run here tonight?
I always thank Spartan Racing. Those guys, man, they're the best team that you could ask for. Then Kingsley Heating AC, Diggs Race Shop, race setups, and then VMR Reps, and you guys for the broadcast, and GForce putting this all together.
Very good. Kyle Parker, congratulations on picking up the Coolray Cooling, Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical Hard Charger Award here tonight, going plus 15.
Thank you, sir. You guys have a good night.
You as well. Kyle Parker, your hard charger here tonight, brought to us by Coolray. And that means it is time to talk to tonight's winner. And wow, Brennan Weeks found himself out front early on in this one, and he would not give that spot up. Brennan, congratulations on the solid performance here tonight.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
Tell us about this racetrack. Everyone else thus far has talked about the tires and the new tire model, and the cars felt different tonight. So how about it from you? How'd the car feel?
It fits me better, I feel like, because you have to keep it as straight as you can. The car's pretty tight, and I like it.
You seem like there was a few incidents early on, a couple cars up there that were running up front with you. They had an incident, and then after that, you were just lights out perfect. What was it like from your vantage point?
Yeah, I've seen them two getting together, and I was thinking if I could just miss them if they did wreck, then I'd be all right, I believe. Usually when you get on single file restarts, you can control it pretty good.
And that's exactly what you did. What was the key on those restarts? Because it seemed like immediately, no matter what Fitzpatrick tried on those restarts, you could pull 4 or 5 cars getting down into turn 1.
Yeah, I feel like when you do a single file restart, if you get a pretty good start on them, then with as slick as it was, you're pretty good if you can go. That last call, I didn't want to see it, though.
No, I was going to ask you that. At times tonight, you were out to 2 seconds, and then the yellow would come out. So what goes through the mind as the driver right then? Is it like, oh, no?
That green-white checkered, I was honestly expecting a slide job going in 1 and 2, but he never threw it, so.
Well, sometimes they can't get there when you get the perfect restart. Brennan, who do you need to thank for the victory here tonight in that 12 machine that was lights out solid all night long?
Baker Motorsports, Schubert Monument Sales, Dirt Rich TV just come on board not too long ago, and then y'all for broadcasting and them for putting the league on.
All right, Brendan Weeks, congratulations on the win here tonight, and have a great weekend. So Brendan Weeks picks up the win in that 12 machine, leading the vast majority of tonight's feature event to take it to the winner's circle. What a night of racing we just had here with these VMR wraps. Late models, I want to say big blocks. I missed my big blocks last night. Hope to get back with them next Thursday. Of course, Renegades, next broadcast coming up on Monday night, 9 o'clock Eastern, 8 o'clock Central. join us for that if you can and enjoy some 360 sprint car action. That's on Monday. Of course, Hometown Heroes Wednesday night action presented by Icon Sim Sports. Thursday night, the big blocks are broadcast. Friday night, these pro late models, and there's a whole bunch of other leagues as well, not just the broadcast events. And you can learn more by going to GForceRL.com. That's GForceRL.com. The RL, it's short for Racing Leagues. GForceRL.com. And there is a division for all sorts of skill levels. If you're like me, not very good behind the wheel, they've got leagues for you to have some fun. If you're retired and looking for some matinee action, they've got that for you as well, and even venturing into the pavement world as well. Again, GForceRL.com. And make sure while you're here on the YouTube page, give it a like, and then you'll know every time we're live broadcasting one of the GeForce Racing Leagues here on GForceTV and on GeForce Esports. A great night here at the Eldora Speedway. Thank you all for tuning in. For my partners, Scotty DeYoung, I'm Sean Neested, saying good night, God bless, and congratulations to Brennan Weeks, tonight's VMR Wraps Pro Late Models A-Main winner.